Hi friend, I'm Marcus with SpeakYourMindMethod.com, here to help you stop stuttering and start speaking your mind fluently and with incredible confidence. So, you've been struggling with a stutter. Perhaps you've been getting desperate of late, and you're like, I need to do something about this. Well, first of all, I understand. I get it. That was me. I know the shoes that you're in right now. But I also know that I overcame it, and I also know that you can overcome it. So perhaps you've been trying to get better. Perhaps you've watched some YouTube videos. Maybe you've even bought a program in the past. Maybe you've read a book or something. And maybe you've even gotten some results for lower pressure situations when you're by yourself or for when you're comfortable. But then, when you find yourself about to engage in a speaking situation that is high pressure or higher pressure than what you're accustomed to or comfortable with, that's when your stutter starts to rear its ugly head again. Now, high pressure means different things for different people. High pressure might be as simple as going through a drive-through. High pressure might be public speaking or doing a presentation at work. Whatever the case, you know what high pressure is for you, so that's what I'm talking about here. Now, first of all, let's take a look at what is happening physically and neurologically. Why do I feel so stressed? Why is this high pressure? Why can't I just tell myself to not feel pressured? Why can't I just not stutter? Well, what's happening is the stress is inducing a fight or flight response. And what happens when people have a fight or flight response is your body goes into survival mode. And when your body goes into survival mode, then your brain power is no longer being used to think strategically and to think calmly. And instead, your brain has redirected all its faculties, all its brain power to survival and to self-defense. And that's why you might feel brain fog when you're about to engage in that higher pressure situation. It's because your body thinks it's in danger, and then there's that fight or flight response happening. And when that happens, then everything you've learned often just goes out the window. You can't even remember the tips and the tricks or the ideas or the approaches or the techniques that you could apply. You just forget about them when your body goes into that fight or flight response. So what can we do about this? Well, the first thing we need to do is simplify it and make a technique that we can grab and make it very memorable, make it easy to access. And that is what I'm going to teach you to do today. And what I'm going to share with you is the SSSH technique, or SSSH technique. Now, my good friend Mateus, a client of mine, came up with this brilliant acronym. So if you're watching, thank you so much, Mateus, for coming up with this. This was brilliant. So what this stands for is stop, smile, stretch, hands. So we'll dive right into those here in a second. Before we do though, just very quickly, I want to let you know about my free Stop Stuttering workshop. Now, I share lots of tips and techniques and tricks here on my YouTube channel. The problem is, what you need is more than just tips and tricks. You need a plan, you need a daily routine, you need a system. That way you can develop the habit of speaking fluently. And so, that is why I offer my free Stop Stuttering workshop. This workshop walks you through the science behind overcoming a stutter, why you can do it, how it's possible, and then I give you a daily step-by-step routine. That way you can go do it and implement it. So I'll leave a link in the description below. It's 100% free, so be sure to check it out. Okay, let's dive into the SSSH technique. The first S in this acronym is stop. Now, what do I mean by stop? Here's what I mean. When you are about to stutter, or you feel like you're about to block up, you need to develop the skill of literally stopping yourself. Now, you might think, that's not possible. When I start to stutter, it just becomes this loop that I can't get myself out of. It's like, no, you can. First of all, you need to stop telling yourself you can't. You can stop. You can break that loop. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you can do it, and you have to believe that you can. This is a crucial first step. You need to be able to stop yourself and not let yourself push through a stutter or push through a block. So an example of this would be like if I'm about to say something about where I'm going to eat tonight, and then I'm like, and then I try to say, stutter everywhere, I need to be able to stop. I need to just like, nope, stop, maybe go back a couple words, maybe rephrase the way I was going to say it. The key to this first step here is you have to, one, allow yourself, because it's those of us who are a bit more conscientious, just personality-wise, in that we're like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to push through. I'm going to say this, right? Sometimes you got to take a humble pill, and you just got to say, you know what? I'm not going to push through it, because that is only helping to double down on the stuttering habits, the bad habits. We don't want to reinforce those. And so develop the skill of stopping, taking a breath, maybe going back a couple words, maybe rephrasing it. This is a crucially important skill that you must learn. Now, stop could also mean a couple other things. It could also mean stop as in mentally just tell yourself to stop going so fast. To just stop. Just breathe. Like it's okay. So it's like a self-calming kind of thought process that you can just tell yourself, look, stop. If you're about to go into this high-pressure speaking situation, just tell yourself, stop. Just go blank. And so doing things like meditation, repeating affirmations to yourself can be very helpful to this as well. And I talk about affirmations specifically in my free workshop. So you'll find a bunch of that type of information in there. So that is step one in this SH technique. The second S in this technique is smile. Did you know that it's okay for you to smile even when you don't feel like it? Crazy, I know. But studies have proven this. Studies have shown that you don't need to wait around for you to feel better. You can actually jump the line. You can hack the system by physically doing the things like smiling. You smile, and what will then happen is you become happier as a result of you acting it out. And this is very important for those of us who struggle with our speech, because there's nothing worse than falling into that negative feedback loop where we get very depressed, very defensive, very anxious and stressed, and then we lose all sense of confidence, all sense of happiness, all sense of joy, and everyone around us can feel that negative energy. So it's not doing good to ourselves, and it's not a good social ingredient either. So don't forget to smile. It doesn't mean that you have to look like a weirdo and be like, I'm gonna smile and talk like, no. Keep it natural. A smile is as simple as what I'm doing right now. Right now I have a subtle smile on my face, right? I'm not talking like this. I'm not talking like this. No, I got a smile. And you want to keep that positive energy. And a huge benefit of that is people around you will be much more comfortable, much more patient with you, even if you struggle a bit, if you maintain confident body language. If you get all slouched and grumpy and anxious and stressed in a very obvious manner, people are going to be a bit more standoffish, like, I don't know, I'm not very comfortable here. So this is a key. Stay smiling, stay confident, even when you don't feel it. So that is step number 2 in this technique. The third S now in this technique is to stretch. And this comes from the tool word stretching. Word stretching is very simple. You simply take 1 or 2 words out of the phrase that you're saying and you stretch it out. So it looks like this. You simply take 1 or 2 words out of the phrase and you stretch it out. Out of the phrase and you stretch it out. Out of the phrase and you stretch it out. See, I'm doing it. This is one of the most unanimously effective tools that works for almost every person who struggles with their speech. And one of the reasons is because it helps glue your words together. But another reason is it, by nature, by implementing this tool, it slows you down. Because when you stretch a word here and there, that automatically slows you down. It slows you down without you having to be like, slow down. Okay, how do I slow down? No, you're like, I'm going to stretch this word, then I'm going to stretch this word. And so it's just a much more potent way of going about it and thinking in terms of I'm going to stretch some words rather than slow down, slow down. Now, again, you're not going to sound weird. Now, you might sound weird to you if you're not used to sounding like this. But as far as does it sound weird when people stretch their words, one, I stretch my words all the time in my videos. So if you're still watching, you're probably not like, oh, this guy's such a weird speaker. He has this weird cadence where he like stretches. No, it sounds completely natural, right? So be okay with it. You need to be okay with developing a speech style that is a little different than what you speak with now. Why? Because what you speak with now, you stutter. And so we want to escape that, and we want to build fluent speech habits. And more often than not, you will need to develop just a bit of a different speaking style. You can still be you. It'll still be authentically you, but it'll just be a little bit different. And by different, it'll also usually be better because it won't be as monotone and boring either. So those are the 3 S's: stop, smile, stretch. And then the H at the end stands for hands. Now, if you watch my videos, you may notice that I use my hands a ton. And I am sorry that I just mentioned that because I probably ruined every video I've ever done now just by my hands, because now you're just going to be distracted with them. So that's fun. But hands are so important, and almost every person who speaks will benefit from using your hands in the process and in the act of speaking. One reason for this is it's incredibly helpful to you when you use your entire body as your speaking apparatus, if you will. So instead of thinking of your communication, the way that you communicate through speech being just here and then everything else is just dead, no, you want to include your entire body in the communicative process. And this is why public speakers, this is why some are so much better than others, or this is one reason why. Does anybody like monotone speakers who just sits there or stands there like a statue and just talks like this the whole time? It's like, no, we like people when they move around, when they use their hands, when they're energetic. And here's another little tip that is incredibly useful for you to know about using your hands. Using your hands will help alleviate some, the excess tension and the excess pressure that you may feel in your throat that may be tightening up your cords, and then you're like blocking up. When you use your hands, you engage your hands, it helps it feels like some of that excess tension that was here is now in your hands. So it frees up this part to speak like it's supposed to, just do what it's supposed to do. And then another reason why it's so useful for you to use your hands is because it helps you speak in a more rhythmic manner. And as we all know, there are plenty of people who stutter, almost all of them actually, who don't stutter when they sing. Now, it's more than just rhythm. We actually use a different part of our brain when we sing versus when we speak. But there are still qualities about the way that we sing versus when we speak for people who stutter that they don't stutter when they sing. And one of the reasons is because of the rhythm, the element of rhythm in the cadence of how you sing. And so, why don't we pull a little bit of that in to our speaking style? And when you use your hands, it helps kind of sync up your entire body, and then you can speak in a more rhythmic manner. And when you speak in a more rhythmic manner, you feel that momentum, you feel that flow. And when you feel momentum and flow, you speak far more fluently than you do when you feel kind of choppy and short and just slouched and monotone. You want to keep the rhythm, keep the energy moving, and using your hands is a huge part of that. So, my friend, that is the SH method brought to you by my good friend Mateus. And this is for your benefit, my friend. Memorize this. Keep this on hand for whenever you start to lose it, or you start to get a bit brain fog and you can't remember anything about how to speak now. You're like, oh crap, I'm just going to stutter now because I can't even think straight about what's happening. Remember the SH technique. Stop, Just stop yourself. Smile. Stay confident. Good body language. Stretch. Slow down by stretching some of your words. Don't rush through everything. Keep calm and just stretch 1 or 2 words in every sentence, like I just did. And then finally, engage your hands. Use your body as the mechanism of speech. Don't just speak up here. Speak and communicate with your entire body. So go use this, my friend. And if you want to dive deeper and if you want to get a step-by-step daily routine, then go check out my Stop Stuttering workshop. This is what will help make everything make sense to you, and it'll give you the plan that you need. Don't rush about kind of grabbing a tip here and a tip there, even though they can be very useful. What is really going to change the game for you is a step-by-step plan, a system, a routine, and that is where the free Stop Stuttering workshop comes into play. It is really going to help you out. Again, it's 100% free. I'll leave a link in the description below, so be sure to check it out. Thank you so much for watching, my friend. I truly hope that you found this helpful. If you did, just leave a comment. Let me know which one of these you found the most intriguing and the most interesting, and let me know what your thought process is as far as how you're going to implement this the next time you're in a stressful speaking situation. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.